guys, Katie here today and welcome back to the channel. So it is a glorious weekend and I am back at Lottie. It is in fact Easter weekend here in the UK. My daughter is away and that means I get to probably spend the majority of my time up here, and I have so much to do. So it's Saturday the 16th, although this vlog might split over 2 days, but we will see how much I get done today. So rather than taking you around the whole plot again and just giving you an update, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn you around, show you what I plan on doing today, tomorrow, and give you a little look at the greenhouse as well to see how we're doing in there. So as I said, I do have lots of plans today. This is the bed in front of my greenhouse. I actually want to pull the black plastic back just a little bit here, and we're going to be planting direct sowing some spinach and some Swiss chard right here. That black sack there that is currently growing dandelions, that is going to be moved. I'm actually going to move it over here in front of my shed. I'm going to put a little bit of wood chip in it and then top it up with compost, and that's actually going to be my salad growing place for the year. But as you can see, first I kind of want to pull out all these little weeds down here and over there, and I want to add some more wood chips. I'm going to do this area before I do the black sack. And then turning around, as you can see, I have a lot of weeds growing down my pathways. I want to try and attack those today, get rid of them, and then also top this up with wood chip too. So that's on the agenda today. My onions, because it's so glorious, I'm actually going to take the fleece off completely, and I want to de-weed it, because although I know my onions are doing well under there, I know that there are a lot of weeds too, and I can see that. And I can also spot just down here that I've got a rogue raspberry plant that needs to come up. Speaking of which, these raspberry canes, we've decided not to use them this year, so I'm actually going to chop them up, get them ready to put in the burn bin. We can't burn here during the season. We can burn in October, but they can go in the burn bin and wait until October. The fruit cage is doing really well, but as you can see, we've got a lot of rogue raspberry plants that have come up. They need to come out. And then I also went to town the other day with my daughter, and we went into a coffee shop and they were giving out their coffee grounds for free. So I'm going to be sprinkling those around all the raspberries, because they really like raspberries. If I get to it, I want to de-weed and sort out this bed. I know that I've got a sage there, which I will possibly keep. And I think I've got some mint in there as well. I'm not sure what that is, but most of it will come out and it will give me a bit of extra growing space. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else I want to do today. However, I have heard, and Sue's trying it too, and you will see it when we do her plot, that you can grow tomatoes up an archway. And I am really tempted to construct some kind of archway here. But we'll wait and see about that, and we'll see how I'm doing. This side, this purple garlic, has completely failed. So I will end up planting something else there. The garlic over there is not looking too bad, but yeah, it's still not looking great. But those are the main things I want to sort out here today. Oh, I've also got some forget-me-nots that I want to plant in one of these terracotta pots. I'm going to take the rather dead looking plant and yeah, empty that out and plant some forget-me-nots. So let's head into the greenhouse. So I haven't really looked in here yet, although glancing around I can see that things have gotten very hot, despite the fact my window is open, and the first thing I'm going to be doing is watering in here, because some things are looking a bit droopy. But let's go in and take a quick look. I am also, on the agenda today, is going to be potting some things up. I want to try and save as many of these tortilla plants as possible, and as you can see, some of them have got 2, so I definitely need to pot those up today, and it will be done. There's no dispute about whether that will be done. I also want to pot up some of these peppers, because some of them are looking amazing and I want to give them the best chance too. So peppers are looking good, these peppers are looking good, as are the tomatillos. The broccoli and Brussels are looking good, but they definitely need potting up. The squash and pumpkins are looking great. More squash. Oh, and I can see I've got another squash that's come up, which is awesome. So pleased. Going down. So celery is looking good. So are the carrots. And oh my goodness, I've had even more come up over here. So we've now got 100% germination on our sweet pepper Midas. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in there. We've now also got 100% germination on our pepper salad festival. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there. We've got 2 aubergine violette. We've got 4 black tomatoes that have come up, and we've got 3 of the aubergine patio. My swede are looking very, very thirsty, so I need to get some water on those ASAP. Melon, and let's have a look in here. And we've got some sweet peas, which is awesome. They're starting to come up, and in here, and we've got some more sweet peas there. So that is brilliant news. Nothing on my dwarf French beans yet, or my peas that I planted, but they were only done last weekend. Let's go down here. Oh, so, oh my goodness. Okay, definitely going to have enough now. These were my preemptive pumpkins. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of them I can see. So I've definitely got enough for my daughter's class now. These are my sunflowers. Look how amazing they look. We've got 100% germination almost on the giant sunflowers, and 100% germination on the sunflower little Dorrits, which are the pickers, which is amazing. That is my black curly kale up the back, looking good. This is my second round of cauliflowers, which have kind of gone mad, which is amazing. Nothing on my second lot of cabbage yet, but check out my yellow beans. They look amazing. So pleased. My courgettes are looking happy up the back. So are those tomatoes. I think I've now got, yes, I've now got germination in every single pod in those tomatoes, which is incredible. Oh my goodness. So these are the extra tomatoes. These are the artisan mix that I planted about 2 weeks ago. And we've got 3 up. We have got 3 tomatoes up, which is incredible. Awesome. Cucumbers doing as well as ever. Those tomatoes looking brilliant. Again, I'm going to pot up these tomatoes today because they need some space. We've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 7 golden sunrise, because there's one down here. We've got so many San Marzano, it's insane. And we've got some more tiger toms there, which look amazing. Going down here, these are my gerberas, but still nothing's happened. Don't know if anything will, but we will see. But my zinnias, look how happy my zinnias look. They look amazing, as do my parsnips. These are going great guns now, really well. And so do my beetroot. My beetroot look amazing, and I can see a nettles popped up the back there, which isn't great, but still. I've got oregano and coriander. I can finally see a rosemary that's come up. Brilliant. And I'm hoping it's that. I can see some mint too. Up here, these all look great. The only one that hasn't actually germinated is the chives, but they're looking okay. Carrots looking good. Sugar snap peas look amazing. These are my leeks. I mentioned before that I gave them a haircut, and some people wanted to know why. It was a tip I saw that when they get wispy like this on the top, that if you give them a bit of a haircut, it can actually boost their growth. And as you can see, the ones that I gave a haircut to have actually shot up. So I might just need to go down and chop them down again, and it apparently promotes growth, so that's great. These cauliflower look super happy, just in need of water. White cabbage look good. These red cabbage are doing great, but they again need a water. Nothing on the sage. These aubergine are looking okay. I'm tempted to pot them up as well, but we'll see. And then finally, my daughter's other pumpkins for her class. So I think we're definitely going to have plenty of pumpkins. So that's what's on the agenda today. Don't know how much I'll get done. Like I said, we might go into a 2-day vlog with this. I'll see how much I've done when I put it all together. So I think the first thing I'm actually going to do is get some wood chip up here from the shared wood chip mound that we've got. So I can do that bit in front of the shed, also de-weed it. And then I can do the black sack and so on. And then once the black sack's done, I can put in the spinach and the Swiss chard as well. So let's get going. see this plant here, originally I thought it was cow parsley, and it may well be, but we've actually had some problems up here at the allotments with hogweed. And for those you don't know, it looks super similar to cow parsley, but it's got like purple bits on it, kind of almost like beetroot on the stems. I don't know if this is hogweed or cow parsley, but I don't want to take the risk, because hogweed, if it touches your skin, it can actually cause it to blister. And Sue had a big problem with that last year, and as I've got a little one who's only 6, the best thing for me to do is just take it out. These things end up with quite big roots, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use my secateurs to cut it down, and then I actually got some ultra weed killer I'm going to put down. I try not to use weed killer, but as this is on the fence line of my plot, I'm not too bothered about it. So as you can see, I de-weeded this whole entrance. I went and barrowed 5 lots of wood chip up here, and it looks so much better now. I am really pleased. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my black sack here, also empty out one of the plant pots to put here. Then I'm going to de-weed the black sack, put a bit of wood chip in it just to raise the level, and then put compost on top and plant my lettuce seeds in there. And I'm going to de-weed the plant pot and put some forget-me-nots in there. Let's do it. So I've managed to drag the sack over here. It is not in the best condition, but it will still grow. So now I've got to take all these weeds out and pop them in my weed bucket, and there is my wheelbarrow full of wood chips ready to top this up. And then I'm going to put some compost on top and then direct sow my lettuce in here, and then I'm going to be having it right by my shed, so whenever I want salad I can cut it down and it will regrow, and it's going to be my cut and regrow salad bag. Okay, so as you can see, I filled them up 2/3 of the way with wood chips and then put some potting compost on top. I've also de-weeded one of the flower pots and filled that up with some fresh compost too. So this is what I'm going to be planting. So I'm actually only going to plant one side at the moment, and then in 2 weeks time I'm going to plant the other side just to stagger my lettuce so I don't get completely overrun with it. We do eat a lot, we do love salad, but I'm going to be putting in this mixed lettuce which says ready to eat in 40 days, so that should be good, hopefully. So I'm going to plant that on this side, and then in my pot I'm going to be planting these forget-me-nots that my wonderful sister sent me in memory of someone. So let's get them in. So these are all now completely planted. This is all mixed salad. This is the forget-me-nots. I've watered them. So next up, I'm going to travel down a bit further, and I'm actually going to just weed this little section here and weed all down here. And then I'm going to put some wood chip down, and then I'm going to fold back the black plastic and plant here. Basically what I decided to do is, as I had so much, I thought I'd just start at one end and work my way down. Something else I forgot to say at the beginning that I need to do today is I'm going to attempt to grow some potatoes in this sack. So I've actually grown potatoes in the ground the last 2 years, and it just didn't seem worth it. They were getting eaten a lot and things like that. So I wasn't going to grow any at all this year, which seems criminal for someone who has an allotment. But Sue decided to do some of hers in a sack, so she has given me some to do some for me. So there we are, all de-weeded and re-wood chipped. Excuse the out of breathness. It's a fair way to get the wood chip, and that's my like 11th load today, so a bit worn out. So next, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the potato sack, because I've decided I'm going to put it down the end there. So let's do that. Okay, so the idea of this potato sack is that I roll it down, I put some compost in, and then I put the potatoes in, and then I cover them up, and then when they sprout up, every time they sprout up, you cover them a bit more until basically it's full up to the top and they're sprouting out the top. And then at the end of the year, you tip the bag out, and it's super easy to harvest your potatoes, and you're not losing any in the ground because you haven't found them. So let's give it a whirl. Okay, so Sue was kind enough to actually give me 2 sacks, and I had 8 potato starts, so I have put 4 in each. As you can see, they're not very full. I sort of did it half and half, covered them up. So now what I have to do is wait for them to sprout up the top, and once they're up enough, I unroll the bag a bit and top it up with more soil and keep going until they're at the top of the bags. Let's see if this experiment works, and if it is a much easier way of growing potatoes. So next on the agenda is to unroll this black plastic just a little bit, check the ground, if there's any weeds, remove them, and then what I want to do is I want to plant a row of spinach direct sowing and a row of Swiss chard too. I'm going to leave a little gap, because actually what I want to do is plant a row of spinach, wait 2 weeks, and then plant the second row, just to keep again my crop rotation going, so that once I've picked one, the other one will be ready the following week. Okay, so I pulled back the plastic, and this is where April me is so grateful to October and November me, because just look, I pulled out 3 blades of grass, and that was it. There were no other weeds, and I am so grateful to me. So we're going to get a row of spinach in, as close to this as I possibly can, probably about here, and then I'm going to put Swiss chard in. So what I've got is this rainbow Swiss chard that was actually gifted to me for Christmas in a grow your own Christmas dinner kind of set, and then I've just got this 99p spinach from Thompson and Morgan. So I'm just going to get that in, but I am going to leave a gap between them, like I said, because I'm going to do 1 row of spinach this week, and in 2 weeks time I'm going to plant another one, and then I'm going to put the Swiss chard up by the edge of the black plastic there. And as you can see, I've already got my markers, so let's go. So that's all I'm going to do for today outside, but in this vlog we'll carry on. It will just be filmed tomorrow. But I've reached the greenhouse by doing the greenhouse path. As you can see, I'm very hot. It is really hot and sunny today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the last half an hour that I'm up here, because it's 4:30 now, because I got up here late today. I'm going to spend the last half hour just potting up some of my peppers and some of my tomatoes and tomatillos. So let's do that. Now, I got told that when you're potting up tomatoes, tomatillos, that kind of thing, you actually want to bury the stalk a little bit, because it will keep on shooting up. But when it comes to peppers, you don't want to do that. So this is my biggest and best tomatillo. I've tried not to touch the plant at all. I've just taken it out of its cell. It's going to be a bit more difficult when I have to separate some, but this was a single germination. So I've put it in there, and then I'm going to fill the soil up, so it'll actually cover half of the base of the tomatillo plant. If you've got to separate them, like I'm going to have to separate these two and some of these peppers down here, although I'm going to wait a bit longer on those peppers. When you have to separate them, apparently it's best to be up planting them when the cells that you've planted in are dry, because apparently that makes it easier to not handle them. So fingers crossed this works and I don't kill off all my tomatillos and peppers. So I managed to pot up all my tomatillos. Yes, I'm going to try and keep them all. We will see. I have never up potted anything, so I don't know how this is going to go, but we shall see. So I've got some here, I've got some over here, and some down here. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 12 tomatillos. I really don't think all are going to survive, but hopefully we'll see. So it is now 5 o'clock. I am completely done. I am so hot. I am so dirty. So what I'm going to do for you guys is cut to tomorrow. Hey everyone, it is the next day. So I'm just going to carry on with what we're doing. It's a bit cooler today, but I am up here earlier and there's a nice breeze at the moment. So I think I'm going to crack on with the outdoor stuff. There's not a huge amount to do other than weeding basically. So I want to weed down the rest of my path. Every time I get a bit further down, I'm going to go and borrow some more wood chip, lay it down and just work my way down. When I get down to the onions, I am going to weed the onion bed and also plant some spring onions, directly sowing them in, get that done, and then if I've got time I'm going to get into the fruit cage as well. But I want to make sure I leave enough time and enough energy to get back in this greenhouse and pot things up. So having a look around, things are all fine. Everything that needed watering got watered yesterday and it's all boosted back up again, and all my tomatillos survived overnight after potting them up, so that is a good sign. So let's get out into the allotment and crack on with the weeding. And there you have it. This whole bottom part has now been de-weeded and re-chipped. I left a bit of grass on the border there because that is our nature area. But other than that, everything has been de-weeded and re-chipped. And now I think it's time for a snack break. So up next on the agenda, I'm actually skipping forward slightly. I'm going to chop down these dried out raspberry canes so they can go into the burn bin for when we need to burn later in the year. They'll be good kindling. I've partially uncovered my onions. As you can see, they're doing really well, but I do have some weeds. I need to get in here and weed this and completely uncover it. And then I don't know if I'm going to get to weeding and re-chipping all of this today, but I definitely need to weed this today, and raspberry canes are next. So as you can see, that is now all clear. Of course it has revealed a load of weeds, but hey ho. Next job on the agenda is going to be taking the rest of the fleece off and de-weeding all of this. The onions and especially the shallots look super happy. There's just a lot of weeds in here, which is really annoying, but it is part of allotment life. So let's get cracking. So my onion bed is now fully weeded, which was a task and a half, as some of them were quite deep and I had to be careful of the onions. And looking at all the onions, which I'll show you in a minute, I have had really good success with them. I'm super pleased. Few not up, but that's absolutely fine as long as I've got some of them. Shallots are doing amazing. So I am now that the whole thing is weeded, that gap I left down the side, I am now going to plant some Johnson's spring onions in. They're called White Lisbon. They're quite hardy. I'm going to do the same as I'm doing with a lot of things. I'm going to plant this lot now, and in 2 weeks I'm going to plant a different variety so that I can harvest basically all summer long, and I'm going to keep replacing these when I pull them so that I get spring onions. They're one of my favorite onions to use in Asian cooking and in salads and all sorts like that. So if we head down the newly manicured plot, which I'm still so pleased about, let's take a look at my onion bed. As you can see, the shallots are actually doing the best. They look incredible. But I do have some up of all of them. I am going to leave the fleece off now. So we're going to leave a small square patch there. That is where one of my herbs are going. The spring onions are going to go up the side here. And then in that square at the back, I believe that's where my dill's going. But the onions are looking great. I'm really pleased. So let's get these spring onions in. So the spring onions are now in along the back there. White marker is where they start, and I've put a little stick in part way down to remind me where they go up to so that I can plant the second lot further up. As I was here, I decided to de-weed these areas and lay the new wood chip. Obviously I've left long grass in the wildlife bit. I've also left a bit of the grass that comes out from underneath the fruit cage, but it's all looking really good. On to the next task. So I kind of realised I was kind of done with the manual labour today. I did do another set of paths, the one that runs there and the one that runs there, de-weeded them and wood chipped them. But that's like 21 barrows of wood chip that I've barrowed this weekend. It's fair weight, so I'm done with the manual labour for today. I did have, however, find a couple of rogue strawberries and added them to my daughter's plot. And I've also been and put coffee grounds in the blueberry tubs, which I'll show you at the end. But for now, I'm sat here in a lovely chair in the sunshine, up potting my peppers. I've already done those 4 down there, going through these. I'm not sure I'm actually going to have enough pots to up pot everything I need to pot, but that could be interesting. But these are just cayenne peppers. So I think I'm going to be trading off with some people today. So as you can see in the greenhouse, a lot has changed. I managed to get up almost all of my peppers, although I couldn't do these ones because I ran out of pots. I also managed to do all of my cucumbers, but I haven't managed to do my tomatoes because I ran out of pots. But they're not too big, so hopefully they'll be okay. But everything else in here is looking amazing, and it smells like summer already. So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this massive weekend at the allotment. I don't even know how many hours I've done. It is now nearly 5 o'clock. I've been up here since 10 a.m. I was up here yesterday, and the outside of Lottie really feels like it's gone under a transformation, and I love it. I'm so pleased with what I've done. There is still so much more to do. But until next time, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe so you know when all our videos are coming out. We really appreciate, and hello to all the new followers. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you next time. Bye everybody.